Topic of guilt versus shame tonight, what the difference is, and what the value is in those two things. And this is something that as parents, if we can just constantly remain conscious of this in itself, it's almost like it's some kind of insurance policy on your child's self-esteem. All right, so we want to make sure, first of all, that they're taking ownership of their behaviors. Okay, we want them to understand that their behaviors are directly connected to consequences of some kind, and that they are choices. So when they choose a behavior, when they pick, because it's up to them, right? They get to decide what behavior they choose, and we want them to understand that the way that they do behave is in their control. And then based on the choice they make, there are consequences in life, right? That's the deal. You can speed if you want to. Go ahead and speed. It's anything in life is permissible. You're able to do it, but not everything is beneficial. You can speed on the road if you like, but just be aware that if you choose, you can go ahead and speed, but just be aware that if you choose to speed and you get caught, the consequence will be that you get a speeding fine. That doesn't mean you can't speed. It just means you need to be aware that there'll be a fine associated with that choice. Does that make sense? Not beneficial, but it is permissible. You can speed anytime you want to, right? And so we really want them to take ownership, and we want them to understand that we don't give them consequences. They choose their consequences based on the choices they make with their behavior. So that there's never this victim mentality of, mummy made me go to thinking time, or, my dad said I'm not allowed to do this. My dad won't let me. No. It wasn't that daddy didn't let you. You chose not to go out on the trampoline when you chose to hit your sister. That wasn't my choice. I didn't put you in thinking time. I didn't give you time out, whatever it is that you use in your family. I didn't give that to you. You chose that when you chose that behavior, or when you chose to respond the way that you did, right? So it wasn't something that happened to you. It was a choice that you made that you are capable of being in control of. And so when it gets to the whole guilt versus shame thing. So guilt actually can be quite empowering. It forces us to take responsibility. Okay, so guilt makes us take ownership and responsibility. And when we are responsible for something, it actually empowers us because we understand that we are in control of its outcome. We are in control of the consequence or whatever it might be, because it was only the result of a choice that we made. And I have the full capability of changing my choices anytime I want to. So therefore, I'm in full control of what happens to me, okay? And so we separate what I call the deed from the doer. We separate the deed from the doer, and we address the deed, not the doer. Now, let me tell you just a very quick example of the difference between guilt versus shame. So shame is when we identify the doer with what we're addressing. So, we make them feel like they are a bad person. You're a naughty boy. You're a bad girl. You are such a liar. Not, you're an amazing person, but you told a lie. You are a liar. You are this. You are that. That's shaming them. So what we're doing is we're attaching the deed to the doer. We're literally creating an identity out of the behavior with the person. That then now we're not addressing the behavior, we're actually addressing the person, and that crushes their spirit and that hurts them, because the thing is, there's no escape from that. It's something you're doing to me. You are giving me a label. You're putting me in a box. You're labeling not my behavior, you're labeling me with something, and I can't escape that because it's something you're doing to me, which means I'm not in control, if that makes sense, all right? That means I can't just make a different choice and have you do something different because you've labeled me that now. Whereas guilt means incredible person, bad decision. Really amazing, beautiful, so smart, so intelligent, so such a wise, beautiful person, really bad choice. And you need to own that choice, okay? But it doesn't mean you are bad. The choice you made was the wrong one. So it's perfectly okay to feel disappointed with your child and to let them process the emotion of you feeling that towards them. So the emotion of guilt is actually something that it can become, listen, all through your life, you will experience guilt because you will make mistakes. And if you can own those mistakes, you will continue to be empowered and know that at any moment you can change your life, and you don't have to be trapped by, the confinements of your last experience or the last decision that you made. It wasn't you, it was just a choice you made in the moment. And so, we got to make mistakes. And guilt makes us own something, but it also gives us the freedom in knowing that we can make a different choice anytime we like. We're not labeled as a person. Shame labels the person. Guilt addresses the behavior. Shame addresses the doer. Guilt addresses the deed, not the doer. The behavior, not the person. All right? Now, if you like what you're hearing right now, double tap, 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 tap. Go nuts, crazy. All right? I've got to get these love hearts up. I've got to start getting my ratings going up here on Periscope. All right? Well, I'm going to launch a TV program next year, guys, and I want you all to be part of it. So we need to show these TV channels that we provide some value. And guess how they rate that? Oh, how many love hearts have you got? So go ahead, help me out. Tap, 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 tap. Now, thank you. Look at all those colors. It makes the screen look pretty. So, is that making sense to you? So guilt, good. Shame, now you will go through your life and you will make mistakes. And shame, then what happens is if you feel shamed about things, the internal voice, the way that you start speaking to yourself, because you start, no, that's not my big announcement. No, that'll come towards the end of the year, but that's not the big announcement. You know what? I'll tell you what the big announcement is in the next minute or so when I finish this message. All right? You're going to go through life and you're going to experience guilt all your life. Anytime you make a mistake, you should feel guilty. It's okay to when you feel guilty, you're owning that. And when you own it, you're able to be responsible for it. When you're able to be responsible for it, you're empowered to change it and to know it was nothing other than just a choice. It wasn't you, it was a behavior that you chose at the time. So listen, guys, as parents, as carers, as teachers, whatever it is you are, don't be afraid of, yes, we want to make sure our children feel empowered and full of self-esteem and self-worth and all these things, but we don't want to, let them escape from learning their life lessons, okay? There are lessons in life that we need to learn that literally give us the expansion that each of us came here for. And so, giving them practice at feeling what guilt feels like, and not learning how to dismiss it and to bury it and to ignore it and to block it, but to be present with it and to feel it. It does. It does feel bad when you messed up. And when you have to deal with your own disappointment towards yourself, and when you look at something and go, "Why on earth did I do that?" But guess what? That's gonna happen all through life, because those become the points from which you evolve. And so that isn't just something that might happen. That's something that must happen. It is necessary for life to give you experiences that will create that. What's important is that we talk to ourselves the right way. We create an inner voice in the child where they don't shame themselves, where they can own it, be empowered, so they know they can change it. So give them practice at handling that emotion. Most of us, half the reason we're also messed up as adults is because the last generation of parents, they tried to love us so much, they protected us from every emotion they could. They didn't want us to feel disappointed. They didn't want us to feel rejected. So they taught us to not take risks because they didn't want us to get disappointed. They said, don't get your hopes up. Oh, it sounds good, but don't get your hopes up. But their intentions of, it will, Simone, but their intentions behind saying don't get your hopes up was because they wanted to protect us from feeling disappointment, that if we didn't get what we were going for, we would have to deal with disappointment. And that's an uncomfortable emotion to have to deal with. But it's an emotion that shows up repeatedly in life. And if you don't know how to handle that emotion, it will mess you up and we'll raise another generation of messed up adults. So give them practice. It's totally okay. Let them own their behavior. I didn't do it to you. You chose that consequence when you chose that behavior. And I'm going to let you own that right now. I'm going to let you. Yes, I understand you're feeling bad. Yes, I know you're a child. Yes, I know you're still learning, and that's part of the deal. But do you know how you learn? By processing what you're feeling right now. I'm not going to let you escape, feeling responsible for a mistake that you made. I want you to own that. And the better you get at being able to own that and process that and not attach it to a script, but to understand it wasn't you, it was just a behavior, then the faster we empower our children and the stronger and more emotionally stable we build adults. And what we do is we send them out to the world as an asset, not a liability by the time they get there. So does that make sense? I'm going to close off that message right there. Do you guys feel like you got the message in that? Respond. Talk to me. Yes, 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 or no. Or do you have a question? Or do you need some more clarity? Yeah? Sabrina Leo, I've been waiting on you to join. You got it, Jack. Beautiful. Okay. So guilt is good. Shame is not. What's the difference? Shame is bad person. You are such a bad person that you did that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. You know, but guilt, incredible person. Amazing person. Very bad choice. Bad decision. And you need to own that. All right? That's the difference between guilt and shame. Now, let me give you an announcement. If you're in the Facebook group, I put up a post today saying there's going to be an announcement tomorrow. Awesome. Separate the deed from the doer. Exactly. Address the behavior, not the person. Thank you, Mrs. Leo. Love you, girl. Now, here, I'm going to give you the announcement. Some of you have heard this a little bit. I'm going to give you made the effort to be on Periscope tonight. Let me tell you what my announcement is that is going. You're going to get an inside run on this. And this is of huge value. So it's going to be announced, and for those of you who know me, I'm going to promote it like crazy, all right? My plan is to have the whole thing sold out in 24 hours. But tomorrow, at the Brisbane meeting last night, in fact, I announced, and I'm announcing to you now, and it will be all over social media tomorrow, that I am launching my online parenting course. Why am I doing this? Because I have seen not just the changes, not just the adjustments, but transformations that have occurred in parents, in children, in families, so much more peace and harmony. You know, I guess it really has been brought into homes, and I don't want to limit those results. I feel an intense responsibility to make that available to more people, not just to the markets that I'm able to get to. I don't want someone's family to miss out on the value of what some of these principles that I'm teaching are providing just because I'm not coming to your market or because you live in a different country and I'm not going to get there. So I went, how do I make this available to everyone? Well, I've made an online course. Now, essentially, what does it teach? Well, how to parent from a new perspective, basically, right? All aligned with raising children who are congruent and authentic and true to themselves so that they're full of self-love and self-belief and self-worth and self-esteem and all those things that enable them to live a life that is fulfilled so that they can discover what their own life's purpose is. On the next Periscope, next Tuesday night, the Parenting Periscope, I want you to help me promote that one like crazy. I'm going to share a really strong, intense message for parents, okay, in terms of a personal growth session for parents directly related to children, but it's not going to be an instructional session like I've done tonight and I do sometimes where I say don't say this and say this and offer. I want to really talk to your spirit that night, okay? So I didn't do it tonight because I want to promote it more, but I want you to make sure you're on that next Tuesday night. I want you to help me promote it. In the meantime, I'm going to be launching this course tomorrow. Now, ongoing, the course is going to be $597. What'll be launched as of right now, and you can go ahead and book for it before anyone else gets their spots, okay, before I launch it publicly tomorrow. If you want to be in on this at 60% discount, then here's what it is. It's www.hollynoonan.com/course, as in COURSE, hollynoonan.com/course, okay? That link is live right now, and you can go and register so that you can get a 10-week parenting course. And when I say 10 weeks, there's 10 modules to it. My suggestion is it's around about a week per module, but I'm not going to drip feed it to you. I'm not going to be necessarily it's all going to be available. You watch it as fast as you like or as slow as you like at your own pace. Watch what you like, don't watch what you don't like. Totally up to you. And I want you to understand what I truly believe. This is you putting almost like an insurance policy on the life of your children and your family in terms of their self-esteem and being able to, raise spiritually strong children. So it's going to be available at 60% discount but only for 20 people. There are already people that were at the Brisbane course last night that are enrolled, and I mentioned it on Periscope a couple of weeks ago, and a few people immediately messaged me, and they've already got their spots as well. So I'm giving you a heads up. I'm going to launch it tomorrow if you want to make sure you get your spot. Now, I've made it a bit of a no-brainer because in my mind, for me, guys, this is purpose work for me. I worked hard all through my 20s to set myself up financially so that my husband and I, our dream was to get to 30 and be able to retire so that we could spend the rest of our life doing our purposed work because we are called to do it, not because we need to find a way to generate funds. And so my heart went, okay, I already know the value of this course. I've been working with clients one-on-one, and I feel like I've got so much evidence of not what I think works, but what I know works. And this is going to go through every bit of detail that I could possibly come up with. I've turned into a green personality organizing this course. Let me quickly share with you what it is, okay? So it'll all be made available to you, and I didn't want money to be the reason that your family misses out on the value for anybody. So you're going to be able to pay $79, 3 payments of $79 over 8 weeks. So if you want to get in on this course, go to hollynoonan.com/course. You'll pay $79 to secure your spot. In 4 weeks' time, another $79. Another 4 weeks' time, another $79. So over 8 weeks, you end up paying that off, okay? I don't want any reason to stand in between you and what this can provide. Now, what's in it? Everything from language. I'm going to have a whole, library of videos. Do you need to watch all of them? No. One will be on the shy child, the stubborn child, how to get my kids to eat properly, how to get them to bed. Just all of the stuff you guys sent to me on the Facebook group last week. I'm going to answer every single one of those questions and even more, other things that I know need to be addressed as well. So you'll watch the ones that are relevant to you. Now, not only will there be video trainings, there'll be written content. So you'll get like a booklet. For example, one of the things in the first module is going, well, what kind, before you know how to parent your child, you need to know what kind of child you want to raise. What kind of values and virtues and attributes do you want to instill in your child? You need to be clear on that, because when a flower doesn't bloom, you don't fix the flower. You fix the environment the flower grows in. So when the child isn't becoming the person you want them to be, you don't fix the child. You fix the environment that the child develops in. And guess who creates that environment? The parent. So it's about getting clear on, who do I want to raise? If I want to raise a strong, confident, outspoken, can speak up for themselves child, then you can't not let your child argue with you. You can't expect to have a child that won't argue with you, that won't put their point forward, but then grow into an adult that will tell the world what their opinion is. That's very incongruent. So if you want to have an adult that's going to be like, a child that's going to be like that as an adult, you need to create the environment now that would encourage the growth and the development of that attribute. Does that make sense? So what I've done is I've got paperwork. You can press your print button and it's all done for you. Instead of you having to think, oh, what attributes do I want them to have? I've got a list of 150 attributes, and you just go through and tick the ones that sound good to you. And then it might be, okay, we're working on language this week, and I want you to change the word should to the word could, and all the reasons, subconscious reasons behind that. But instead of you having to remember that, you press the print button, it'll print it out, make it look pretty, it will look pretty, and you can cut it out and put it on the steering wheel of your car, and the bathroom mirror, and on the fridge, so that everywhere you go, your mind is reminding you of what language to be conscious of this week, so that the changes don't feel like they're hard work for you. So I'm literally spoon feeding at all the levels that I know how the brain receives information and how we undo belief systems and replace them with new ones. All the information that I've learned over the years, I've basically put all of it into one course. So this is what it's going to be. We're going to cover everything that we possibly can over a 10-week module. So for the first 20 people, it's going to be $237 broken down into 3 payments of $79. And after this first group, it's going to be $597. So that's my announcement. That's what will be going out on Facebook and social media tomorrow. Thank you for being on Periscope tonight. We don't normally do it on a Wednesday night. Thank you for being flexible with the schedule that I've had this week. I do appreciate you, and for that, for your support and your commitment, and not only to your family, but your support to me. I wanted to give you that information now so you could go and get your spot before I announce it tomorrow, if that's what you want to do. So that's it from me tonight. If you have any questions, let me know right now. Otherwise, I'm about to hang up in 30 seconds. again, I appreciate you all. Thank you, Miss Julie James. Love seeing you guys yesterday and today. Totally loved it. Gosh, I just love the relationships that have been created. I love seeing all you guys support each other and comment back and forth to each other without me even being involved in that Facebook group. I get in there sometimes and there's 10 comments already, and I love watching you all, interact with each other. I just love the community that we're creating. And for me personally, my vision with all of this parenting stuff isn't just to create a bit of an idea, a bit of a community, and a little bit of momentum. It's to create a movement, a global movement, something that sweeps this globe in how we raise the next generation. And I don't think that I know I can't do that by myself. I think we together, you as much as me, can be part of the community that embraces these principles, that puts them into practice, and we can be the evidence that shows other people, why they should take on the same idea. Amen to that, she says. Absolutely, my sister. So thank you again, guys. I really do appreciate it. It's great to connect with you all. Like I said, not normally on a Wednesday night, but thanks for making yourself available tonight. I'll be back on here. Not tomorrow night, actually. Tomorrow night, I'm flying back from Brisbane. So the spiritual expansion one, I normally do on a Thursday night. I will get in touch with you and announce when I'm going to do that. But I will let you know it won't be tomorrow night because I'll be on a plane. Thank you. Next Tuesday, we'll be back on here. For those of you who live in Adelaide, this coming Sunday is the parenting workshop. Yes, I haven't promoted it yet. I've been crazy, traveling, whatever. But if you are in Adelaide, it is on this Sunday, and I will get that banner up. If not today, then tomorrow. Again, good night. Thank you. Yes, Miss. Yeah. Hey, that's another announcement. Myself and Mr. Alan Stevens, right there, the face profiler, global guru in that regard, we're going to be doing an event together. So we're at a business convention together at the moment, and we're going to chat tomorrow about a time that we can do an event together, that I can be talking parenting stuff, and you can have access to Mr. Alan Stevens himself teaching you live how to profile your children, or how to learn more about how to handle them and what not to do with them and how they process information and things like that. Something he taught me about one of my children today was that, sometimes she takes longer to make decisions, but she's not procrastinating. She's processing. It's what she does. It's how she makes decisions. So just because you're such a, snappy decision maker, sometimes my tolerance is low for someone who can't make a fast decision. I'm like, why does it need to take so long? Just hurry up and decide. But I forget that we're raising, the different people. We're raising humans. They're not black and white. They're not robots. They're all grey, right? And they're not like us. And so that was a beautiful reminder. Thank you, Mr. Stevens, that, she's not a procrastinator. She's a processor. And that's how she feels safe to make decisions, and I need to honor that because that's who she is. And I can't make her feel wrong that she's not like me, because she's not supposed to be like me. So that's the kind of value you'll get from an event that we do together, and I can't wait for that. Anyway, we've been on here for ages tonight. I just love chatting to you all. Thank you. Good night. Stay amazing. And as I always say, don't just get off here and hang up tonight. As you leave here tonight, depart from here with courage. The courage to believe in a better way. The courage to voice what you've got to say. The courage to thrive when times are tough. And above all else, the courage to know you are good enough. Good night, everyone.